Hello, good afternoon. This is Diecast, and I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to that episode of Vintage Diecast Monday episodes. I believe this is, and I've forgotten which episode it is. It could be 5, it could be 6. It doesn't matter. But anyway, you are very welcome nonetheless. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Matchbox Superfast number 54C Capri, which is one of my all-time favourite castings. And the reason we're going to be looking at them again today is because I finally found the pink variation. So I'm getting ever closer to having all the Capris from the Lesney period. I think I'm only missing 2, I believe. I now have the 4 main cars, and I also have 2 of the Hot Rocker versions. So I'm going to be showing this one, obviously, and I'm also going to be showing a few of the other variations. Even though I've shown them a few times in the past, it does not matter. Anyway, so I managed to get this on a local for sale site. I got it at a very good price indeed. I've been looking for this pink neon variation for a while now, but every time I find it, it's either beaten to death or it is very expensive. So like I said, someone had advertised on a local for sale site through Facebook, and it wasn't too far from my house, one of these for £8. So I jumped on it. So let's get it out of the packaging, or out of the bubble wrap. I have already looked at it, and it's not in too bad a condition. Let's get a bit extra zoom on. So the pink with the black bonnet and the orange with the black bonnet were the first ones of the number 54C to come out in about 1971. I believe they came out, and they went on to about 1976, 75, 76, and then that was pretty much the end of that. So this is the first variation from what I've researched, I say that because I'm not always right. So this is the neon pink, and it is, even off camera, it's actually held its colour very well. It hasn't faded too bad. It's a real shame, apart from these few little marks up the top. It is pretty much, I want to say mint, but it's in very good condition. The chrome's great. The tarnishing, it hasn't tarnished too bad. These usually do tarnish and pit over time. The zinc coating does wear off. Now this has got a snap toe hook, which doesn't bother me in the slightest, but that was something they rectified by about 1972. So I will use the magenta one just to show you quickly. So that's what they started off. The toe hook was very flimsy, and in about 1972-ish, was that about right? 1972, 1973, they did make a toe hook modification, because, and you can see just how strong it makes a toe hook. So they were prone to snapping off, unfortunately, if you put a toy on there, but that doesn't worry me. Like I said, it's great to find these near to where you live in still very nice condition. So like I said, this did come out in 1971, and I'm going to show this one. Now, this one I got not all that long ago. I showed this, I think, a couple of 3 weeks ago now, and this is my favourite variation of the Capri. This is the orange with the black bonnet. I believe the official name, from what I've researched, again, like I said, from what I've researched, I've heard someone call this peach orange with the matte black hood. Now this, again, this is an older one. The toe hook on this is actually surprisingly quite tough, but it hasn't got the modification to the toe hook. But apart from a slight factory defect, and it is a factory defect because there's no stress marks or cracks on the paint. Obviously, when they spun the rivet down, they didn't spin it down with the car completely straight to the casting, so it did that weird crumpled effect. But it's cool. I did pay a fair few pennies for this. I think I paid about 45 for this with free shipping, but I really wanted this variation. This is the variation I had as a kid, so hence I have the most nostalgic love for it. But this is the orange with the black and the ivory interior. And like I said, back in the day, these had quite a few parts to them when you consider the base, the suspension, the wheels, the axles, the glass, the ivory interior, and the chrome engine, which is a separate piece, obviously the separate moving bonnet. And the engines, now the bonnet doesn't open too far now, I don't want to push it. On this one, you can get the bonnet open further, and you can see that it's actually quite a nicely done engine. The engine does go down a little bit, and you can see what looks like the alternator. You can see the manifold, you can see the air cleaner. It's a nicely done engine, considering it is all in chrome. It is a nicely done engine. So that is the first 2 variations that came out in 1971. I now have the neon pink, and like I said, from what I've researched, the brain switched off peach orange. In 1972, they did bring out, if I hit the camera, they brought out the magenta version. So this isn't a mint variation, but it is in good condition. And again, it has, now I believe this has got the same colour interior. It's just the fact it's a little bit dirty. It looks a different colour. Still looks like it's the ivory interior. But like I said before, it has got the modified hook, tow hitch, sorry. But this is the magenta. Some people call this purple. Some sites you look on, it call it purple. But it is the magenta variation. I believe there is a slightly lighter variation of this, but it is quite a rare piece to come across from what I've researched. So that makes the 1972. So I've now got the 1971 variations and the 1972. In 1973, they did bring out the Hot Rocker in 3 different colours. There was the lime, which I believe this is the lime. And they also brought out the red. And I'm just trying to think now. I'm trying to think which one it was. Yeah, I got distracted. Someone phoned me. So as I was saying, this is the original Hot Rocker. They did 3 colours. There was the lime, the green, and red. And it says in the listing it was metallic green, metallic red. But I'm sure, and like I said, I haven't got one to look at as a reference. It might be metallic red, but I was always under the impression it was a flat red. But this, as far as I'm aware of, is the lime. It does look like a lime coloured metallic green. And so, like I said, this was under the Rollermatics. It was classed as, or should I say, the very short-lived Rollermatics. But these were made from about 1973, I believe, up until, I'm trying to think how when these were made now. Was it 1970? Yeah, 1975. These finished, and a good example of how floppy the tow hooks were on all these Ford Capris. You can see now they were. So you can see why they modified the tow hooks. But anyway, this is the lime variation of the Hot Rocker. I've still yet to find the plain green and the red, but that's the next to get on my agenda. The last variation of the Capri, which came out in 1976, and it was in a twin pack form, and it was the all orange. Now this is the one I've restored, but it is in the same colour. It is pretty much the exact same colour as the all orange, and it was a lighter orange. So you can see now this is an orange, and you can see that this is a much, I want to say darker, but it's a much brighter, vibrant. And when you have actually got it off camera, it has got a hint. It is a peach colour. You can see why they class it as a peach colour. Actual fact, it's funny when you stick it next to the other ones, you can actually, it looks more like a salmon. So that it's funny. They change with the colour of the light. But anyway, this is one I restored. One of the back quite a while ago now, but this is one I restored. And this would have come with, actual fact, let me show you. So there you go. So this was a twin pack, and it came with the boat. So that is the all orange, and this is from the twin pack originally. And when I restored this was an all orange car. It wasn't the black bonnet variation. And then the last variation of the Capri was in 1980, and was until 1981, and it was 8 years after the Ford Capri had finished. So 8 years after they finished with the Lesney Ford Capri, they bought out this. Now this apparently, again, I've only just recently learned this was a US exclusive only, apparently. Obviously I have one in my hands, and obviously other people around the world have got them, but when this did come out, it was supposed to be, from what I've researched, a US exclusive, and it is the Maxi Taxi in like a New York cab style. And I get people comment quite often reading the fares on the side and how much the fares are. But by this point, the casting was actually aging quite a bit, as it did come out. The copyright was 1970 and it came out in 1971. So the casting was getting on a bit. But like I said, when this particular variation came out, it was 8 years after the original casting finished in the basic line. And all this is just a variation of the Hot Rocker. And obviously this has got what looks like a beige interior on this one, and obviously it does work. The Rollomatics does work really very nicely. And it's funny because they do roll nice, because these were classed as a Rollomatics, but they did say superfast Rollomatics on the packets, I think, off the top of my head. But the trouble was, the Rollomatics sometimes would make the wheels skip, so therefore you'd get like a, you can't really see it, but the wheels are actually making it skid, which would be no good for the track. But anyway, so that is today's cars. That is all the Capris in my collection from Lesney. I've just got to get 2 more. So I've got the main 4. The main 4, I now have the main 4. But I've got to yet look out for the red variation, the other green variation, and I need to get the boat. But I will get there. But I just thought I would show them now. My favourite is my favourite Matchbox casting. That is probably my favourite Matchbox casting of all. And before I go, let me just move these cars aside. This video has been really taxing today, because every time I've tried to do it, something has stopped me. My phone's battery went. Someone phoned me. It's been interesting how many times I've had to restart the video. But what I wanted to show is just put the camera up slowly before I disappear. I have now got my diecast Looney mug. They have arrived. So I've got stickers, mugs and cups. And as I said before, the stickers being there, the stickers will be given away for free whenever I do giveaways or what have you, and all that type of good stuff. And the cups and the t-shirts are going to be going on my my YouTube shop, which will be, hopefully, fingers crossed, will be running in about a week's time. And then there'll be cups for sale, t-shirts and other vintage cars, because I plan to sell vintage cars on the site. Because like I said before, I've had a lot of people ask me, where do I get my cars from? Do the people ship? And a lot of the time, they're from car boot sales, flea markets, and etc, etc. It's hard. So what I've been doing recently is I've been picking up doubles of cars, whereas I used to, so if I see something I already have, I'm getting a slow collection together of mint pieces. And the idea is to have a shop attached to my YouTube channel, not specifically to make money for myself, just to help keep the channel afloat, or if people want merch. And there'll be deals as well, subscriber deals, money off. As I said, it's not about making the money, it's about trying to keep the channel, a bit of help with the channel. But anyway, with that, if you've made it this far, thank you very much. Please like, share, subscribe, stay tuned for more vintage diecast. I don't know what I'm going to be doing this week, as I've actually now run out of stuff to show, but I've got a few places to go and pick some new bits up. I'll always have some new stuff to show. I'm also working on another piece for the giveaway, which will be in another couple of weeks, I believe. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so towards the end of the month, I'll be doing another vintage giveaway, and I've got a couple of new pieces, premium pieces coming in. But that's later in the week. But anyway, I'm going on. With that, I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.